Hello, folks. Today is a checkmark day because I've got a list. I've got the list of books that I want to add to my shelves, all my shelves, the list. And today's a day that I get to check off one of the lines on that acquisition list. There's a book called The Exorcist. Ever hear of it? I have. Anyway, I watched this movie a long time ago, The Exorcist, and in all honesty, was the first time I saw it, I wasn't a big fan. Then years later, I watched it again. I watched The Exorcist 3 Legion, and I love them movies. But somewhere along the line, I read the book, The Exorcist by William Peter Blatty. And what I found was that the book was special. It was a special book. I loved the book. I loved the characters in the book. Father Karras and I love the characters in the book. Father Karras, Kinderman, those guys really spoke to me. Anyway, I loved the book, and I found when I went back and watched the movie, I loved the movie far more. I became a big fan. So I'm a book collector, and I love the book, and I love the movies. So naturally, there's going to be items on my list, the list, that I'm going to have to one day get. And I've gotten some of those. I have the PC lettered copy from the Lonely Road copy, signed PC lettered. I have the Suntup numbered edition. I have the Suntup artist edition. There's a couple more that I've been wanting. They're on the list. And now, hopefully, I get to check one of them boxes. The Gauntlet Press made, perhaps, I reckon, the first signed limited edition version of this book. And it's, for some reason, one that I've just never acquired. But hopefully, now I've got it. So Gauntlet Editions did what they called, I guess it would have been a 25th anniversary limited edition version of this book. I got one on eBay from hopefully what I consider a good seller. I haven't bought from them before, I don't believe. But this book is not nearly this big. So when I look at this box, I'm thinking, wow, somebody may have took good care of me. It feels cushioned. I don't feel any books or hard things clumping around in there. So with any good fortune, I get to open a book that's in as good a shape as I was expecting it to be when I made the purchase. So with the help of Uncle Buck here, let's take a look. They gave me some thick tape. When I don't buy packing tape that's that thick. I buy the cheaper stuff, which is much easier to cut, but it's also probably not as durable. But anyway, so far the rating of this seller is A+, man. Gauntlet Press is a book publisher that I've been buying Gauntlet Press books for a long time. They publish limited edition books over the years of authors that I love and books that I want. So obviously, naturally, I've been a customer. I bought a lot of them on the secondary market, just like this. I bought a lot directly from Gauntlet Press. So they got their good sides and their bad sides and all that kind of stuff. But I buy them because they publish the books I want. They publish a lot of the books that I want. So, and honestly, I've never had any trouble getting a book from them. Never had any real complaints of any sort. So this one is about, so we got a lot of this stuff. What do you call this stuff? I found something in here. All right. I don't want to make a mess, but I just did. I need the cleaning person. Cleaning person, come over here. Aisle 1 cleanup. Let's see. Let's get an idea. Feels like our eBay seller might have taken good care of me. A great big box with lots of packing stuff, a little bit of bubble wrap, and it always comes down to the hardest part, getting the last little things off the box. Uncle Buck, can you hook me up? Let's find a weak spot and do the thing. Squints Provolone says do the thing. I like it. See if I can get this thing opened up and see what a 25th anniversary numbered limited edition version of The Exorcist by William Peter Blatty looks like. We got one corner. Is that good enough? Let's see if we can get two corners. Let's try for two. Try for two without much ado. That's a good solid plastic envelope they've wrapped it in. I wonder if this thing's bulletproof. Alright, so here's my slip-cased limited edition version of The Exorcist. Black leatherish type of a slipcase. And there she goes. How does it look? I love the image on the cover. Can you see that? Look up close. What do you see in there? Man, it looks cool. So the slipcase looks nice. This shiny glossy black is easy to scratch. In fact, here in a minute I'm gonna put some plastic on this thing so that it will stay in the condition that it's in, hopefully forever and ever. Beyond that, let me take this slipcase off, see what the book looks like underneath. There's one thing I can't stand. It's a nice slipcase on a busted up book. So the book looks good. I don't see busted up stuff. My seller didn't tell me any lies. Seller seems to have hooked me up. So next thing on the list, here's our end papers. I don't know if you can tell, they're not perfectly plain. Maybe they are. Yeah, plain white end papers and the signature page. This special signed edition of The Exorcist is limited to 600 numbered copies. This is number 432. There are many like it, but this one is mine. This one's mine. So excited to have it signed in person by William Peter Blatty, who unfortunately has passed away. Also co-signed by F. Paul Wilson, one of my very favorite authors on God's green earth. Also signed by Ron Magid and Paul Clemens, a classic revisited. And Gauntlet Press has done a lot of these classics revisited. A lot of them were on my list, the acquisition list of books I had to have. Books like I Am Legend is a perfect example of one that I was excited to get. This one that I really wanted. There's also Robert Bloch's Psycho, which is very high on my list of books which I needs to get. The acquisition list. It's on the list. This one is checked off, baby. But let's see what else we got here. A lot of folks will ask me about the spine or the binding. Here's the binding on this Gauntlet Press edition book. See what we see. What do you see? I don't know. Let's move on to Gauntlet Publications, 1997. Obviously this one publicated in 1997. And the introduction written by F. Paul Wilson. That's why one of my very favorite authors has signed this book. And other than that, I don't know a whole lot about this particular edition. But it's The Exorcist. It's signed and limited, and I didn't have it, and I want it. One of my very favorite books. I got a lot of very favorite books, and this is most assuredly one of them. It's one of the books that helped to teach me a lesson. It helped to teach me the lesson that you may have seen the movie, you may have liked the movie, but I still need to go back and read the book. I always was a little hesitant to read a book when I've already seen the movie, feeling like I already knew what was going to go on. Why go through reading it? But what I found is some books are very different than the movie. Some books are very close. This book actually is somewhat similar. Actually, they did a very good job in the movie of telling the story of the book. But the beauty is in the in-betweens. The beauty is in the details of this book. The stuff that they couldn't flesh out in a movie. The stuff that they had to cut. A lot of it is the heart and soul of the book. The dialogue between the characters, the relationship building between the characters. Some of it feels like it didn't exist in the movie. Some of the relationships really didn't. They were there, I guess, perhaps, but they were never built. They were never fleshed out or any of that kind of stuff. In the book, you feel it, and that's what I loved about this book. So, the still on my list for The Exorcist, I want the signed version from Easton Press. It looks very good. Easton Press, I've got quite a few Easton Press books, but The Exorcist is black, and it looks like it should be The Exorcist. It just looks like it suits the book perfectly right down to the ground. I'd like to get that and add that to the collection. I gotta find the right price for me. The right price for me sometimes is different than the right price for somebody else. There's also I said I had the Lonely Road lettered PC. I'd like to have the Lonely Road numbered. The lettered PC comes in this big giant tray case, like a cigar style tray case. It's got a magnetic flap on this side. I'd like to have the numbered edition. It comes in a slip case with a spine out and a dust jacket and a more traditional styling, so I'd like to have that one as well. And there's many other books on that acquisition list that I need to one day eventually check off, but I've got PP, I've got patience and persistence. So one day I'll get the ones I want at the price I want when I'm ready. And that's about all I got to say. So thank you. If you will, please like if you like. Please subscribe. And since I can't think of any more lies to tell, I'm trying to think. Can't think of any more lies to tell. C'est la vie, baby.